Namaste yogis. Welcome to your practice. This is Stephen from YogaWorks and welcome to this side body flow. In yoga, we spend an extraordinary amount of time either lengthening our back body, think your hamstrings or any kind of forward bends, or lengthening the front body, think any kind of back bends or lunges. And what we often forget is the place where the front and the back side of the body meet, which is the side body, and it includes a whole range of muscles and connective tissues like the IT band, your outer hip muscles. It connects the muscles in the waist, which form part of your core, and then we've got the lats and the muscles under the arm and even into the neck. So that's exactly the region of the body that we're going to be focusing on today. And I find whenever I've been sitting for a long time and feel a little bit compressed or low on energy, then this is a really great practice to start to re-energize myself. And always when I do this, I just feel like my posture improves a little bit. I've got a little bit more space to breathe into, and I hope you'll be experiencing the same. So let's start lying on our backs. Start nice and easy. Just stretch out your arms and legs, place them wherever they are comfortable. And just take a few breaths to arrive here. And there's nothing much you need to do right now, just allow the breath to settle and allow the mind to relax in the body. Welcome yourself to your practice and do a quick little check to see what did you bring here to your mat today. How's your body feeling? What's the state of your mind? What's your energy level? Almost like a pilot checking the dials on the plane before takeoff. And then start to make this a little bit more active. We're going to be doing mountain pose on our back. So bring the balls of the feet together, heels slightly apart, and then pull the toes a bit up as if you're standing onto both feet. And then lengthen the arms up over the head. But try not to come into a big back bend, so keep the rib cage down. Even if it means your arms are not all the way down on the floor, that's okay. And just start to feel a gentle side stretch under the arms all the way to the outer hips. And maybe notice if the left side or the right side feels a bit more restricted perhaps, or a bit more open than the other side. So just notice that. And then move both feet over to the right corner of your mat, across the left ankle over the right. And then do the same with the arms. So we're going to be moving the arms to the right. And I like to hold the left wrist with the right hand here. And then just rest down in this sort of banana shape on your back, you could say. A really nice, simple side bend. Nice and restorative pose. Doesn't require any muscular effort. In fact, the more you relax into this, the better. Try to make it a pure side bend, so try not to lift one side of the hips or try not to lift one shoulder. Keep everything just flat on the mat and just purely bend to the side. And then return to the center, release your hands, move both legs over to the left side and cross the right ankle over left. And then move the arms over the head to the left side as well. With the left hand I'm holding my right wrist, but you can figure out what works best for you. And I'm trying my best to keep the hips down, the shoulders down, the rib cage down. So I'm purely going sideways to the left here. And even if it's a tiny bit, then that might be enough for you. So don't overdo it. And then drop in for another moment. Just savor this gentle beginning to your practice. And then slowly release. Now roll over onto your right side and then place the right elbow down on the mat. Place the feet in front of each other and then start to push the right elbow down to lift the hips up a little bit. Now I'm trying to stack the left hip above the right, and then with the left arm go up and maybe a little bit over the head into side plank. So now we're working onto the side body, but more in a strengthening kind of way, especially this bottom side. The right side is contracting as the left side is expanding. So hold for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly set it down. Nice. While we're here, we'll do a little bit of work for the outer hip here. There's a muscle here that works on abducting the leg or the hip. So we'll work on that. On that part, it's often a little bit forgotten in a lot of practices. So all we're going to do is keep the legs the same as in the mountain pose we've been doing before. And we're just going to lift the left leg until it stops. Try not to turn it out or move it forward or back. Just keep it straight in line with where you started and lower down. A couple of times, lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lower. Lift and lower. We're doing 10 in total. This was 5. If you want to do the last 5 in side plank, so back to the previous pose, then that's fine. So lift and lower. 4 to go. 3, 2, and last 1. It's really good work for the bottom side here. Set it down. And let's swap to the other side. So we're rolling into the left side body, left elbow down. So we're starting with our side plank. I like to place the right foot in front of the left. Lift the hips up, and then with the feet like that, you can squeeze into the inner thighs. Imagine you've got a block in between the thighs, which is squeezing. The right arm can go up and reach it over the head to get a little bit more side length on the top side here. And then keep pressing the feet down and squeeze the inner thighs together as you lift the hips up and keep them stacked above each other. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the hips back down. Great side core work here. And then stack the legs on top of each other, just like the mountain pose we've done in the beginning, but lying on the side. And then lift the right leg up without turning it open or inwards, and lower it down. Lift and lower. Lift, feel that muscle that is lifting the leg. It's called the TFL. And there's a couple of other muscles that work together with it in the outer hip. Let's do one more here. Lift and lower. You can keep going with this, or for the last 5, maybe move back to the side plank and continue there. 5, 4, 3, doesn't matter how high you go. 2, and 1. Ooh la la. Set it back down and turn to the front. Let's come onto our knees and place your right knee in front of the left knee. And then start to sit the hips back. If you don't reach all the way down, then feel free to sit up on a block here to create a bit more grounding under the hips. Or if you don't have a block, you can lift the top knee up a little bit if you are unable to lower all the way down. If you are, that's fine. Sit between the feet. And then really simple. We're going to be with the left elbow go under your right knee and lift it up a little bit. So just a slight little lift. With the right knee, I'm pressing down onto that left forearm. And then I'm turning to the right ever so slightly with the torso. So getting to right outer hip. Feel that. And then keep a little bit of pressure between the knee and your forearm. Nice. Release that, but keep the legs the same. Right hand, place it off to the right. And the left arm lifted up. And then with the left arm, start to reach over your head. So now that left hip is pinned down under the right leg. So you're getting a nice length away from that. And a nice stretch in the side body here on the left. So just reach straight over the head to the side. As always, doesn't matter how far you go, but do it with skill and with focus. Keep this, keep everything the same, but just reach your left arm back to the left side while relaxing the right ear to the right shoulder. And I'll try to find a sweet spot where you find a really good neck stretch on the left side here. You might need to move that left arm a little bit forward or a little bit back just to find that spot where you get a really good stretch. Soften the right shoulder down, soften the left shoulder down, relax the head to the right. Slow deep breath into the top side of the neck. Nice. And then release. Let's swap sides. Left knee is going to be on top of the right. Use your block if you need to. Lift that top knee a little bit higher to create space if you need to. We adapt the pose to our body. We don't adapt our body to the pose. Obviously, that would be insane. So here, I'm wrapping right arm under that left knee. And then with the arm, I'm lifting up slightly. With the knee, I'm pushing down, resisting into that arm. And then the torso can just turn a little bit to the left. Hold this for a moment. This one feels quite intense for my hips. And just see what kind of intensity feels good. Slowly release that. Keep the legs the same. Left hand to the left. Right arm up, and then go into the side bend. So you're leaning that right arm away from the right hip, which is pinned down under the left leg in this pose. So straight side bend, we don't want to turn the chest down or lift it up. Go straight over the head. I don't think you need to go really far. Often the side bends, you can feel a lot of sensation quite quickly without going really far into it. Keep that, but just reach the right arm away to the right, so parallel with the floor, reach through the right fingertips, but relax the head to the left, and then soften both shoulders down. If you need to, move your arm forward or back to find the best stretch, a nice and juicy spot where you hold for a little moment. Direct the breath into any areas of tightness here. And then slowly lift back up. You can unwind the legs and then just come into downward facing dog. Pressing the hands down, grounding the feet. It's fine, of course, that the heels are lifted, mine usually are. But we do want to get a solid sense of grounding through the hands and the feet. So 4 points of support. And then the main thing about down dog, regardless of the theme of the class, is always length in the spine. So if you need to bend your knees a little bit to get more length in the spine, then try that for a moment. Just see if that allows you to slide the hips a bit further up and back away from your hands. And if you can keep that and maybe stretch the heels down again, then you can keep that. If it's impossible to stretch the heels down while keeping the length, then prioritize the length in the spine. Nice, and lift your heels nice and high. And lower both heels over to the right. Make sure the feet are in front of each other. And then just bend your knees a little bit and crouch down low while pressing the hips to the right. So you're getting really good side stretch. Don't worry about what it looks like for you, but just get in there. Find your own version of this. And then return to the middle and lower both heels to the left. Bend your knees, stretch away under that right armpit, push your hands down, and lean the hips a little bit to the left. Another breath or so here. And then return to the center, normal downward facing dog. Feel all this space in the sides of the rib cage and under the arms. And then start to walk your feet forward to the front of the mat. Bend your knees quite a lot, and then take all the time you want to roll up into standing. When you come up, roll the shoulders back a couple of times. And then place palms together at the heart. Inhale, lift both arms, and try to get that same feeling as when we were lying down in the same pose. So the back ribs are resting on an imaginary mat. Just feel that or remember that feeling. Press the feet down, lengthen the sides without going into a back bend or without rounding your back. You're going straight up. And then with the right hand, hold the left wrist and go into side bend to the right. Press both feet down and breathe into the side of the rib cage that you're opening on the left. And then lift back up. Let's swap hands. Left hand holds right wrist. Guide that hand over the head to the left. Push the feet down, especially that right foot that you're lengthening away from. And breathe into the right side of the rib cage here. And then lift back up. Open the hands and dive forward and down for Uttanasana. You can always bend your knees here. Inhale for flat back. Now really accentuate that length in the side body from your hip to your armpit and stretch the crown of your head forward. And then hands down, place the right foot all the way back and the right knee, let it come down. Lift the arms, low lunge. Left hand to left hip or knee, and then reach the right arm over the head a little bit to the left side. Keep the right knee grounding down. And then lower the hands. Downward facing dog. Keep the length in the side body here. Inhale to plank. Exhale, slowly lower down. Locust pose. Reach the hands back, turn the palms down, and lift everything up just for a moment. Exhale, back to down dog. See how you get there. And lengthen the spine. Inhale here. Exhale, the right foot forward, the left knee down. Low lunge, one breath. Inhale. Exhale, step forward, forward fold. Inhale to rise. Stay here, right hand down, left arm over the head. So slide the right hand towards the right knee or wherever it ends up. Push the feet down and reach over the head straight to the side. Both hands up. Left hand, left hip or thigh. Slide the left hand down towards the left knee somewhere. And reach the right arm over. Expand the right side body. Nice. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Feel the length in the side body. Exhale, the left foot back this time. Lower the knee. Lift your arms, low lunge. Right hand, right knee, left arm over the head into a side bend. So now we're getting the psoas, which is the hip flexor, on the left side, and all the way along the outside edge of your torso to the left fingertips. Release that, hands down, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, lower down, nice and slow, to build up some strength in the shoulders. Locust pose, amazing for strengthening your back. And exhale, downward dog. You can always put the knees down, go to child's pose, or even take a break at any point. Lengthen the spine, push your hands down. Inhale. Exhale, left foot forward, right knee down. Lift the arms, one breath, low lunge. Exhale, step forward and fold. Rise all the way up, inhale. From here, let me step back a little bit. Place the left hand on the left hip. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see better. Left hand, left hip. The right arm, reach it over the head. That's it. With my hand, I'm pushing the hip towards the opposite direction. I'm going to add a few more options. Stop wherever you find a good place for you to stop. So you can keep this, or you can turn the chest open a little bit more. You can keep this, or place your right toes a bit further away from you for balance. And then if you're like, okay, I don't really need the right toes anymore, you might lift them up and lean into this as far as you dare. And then release back to center. Wow, take a breath. Right hand, right hip. Left arm up. Take the left arm into side bend. This is a good place. This is the whole pose. All the rest is extra decoration, you could call it. So here, you can turn the chest open a little bit more. Look up at the ceiling under the left arm. Maybe the left toes, place them forward and to the side. And then lean into it. Lean away from the left toes. And maybe lift the left foot up. Any amount. And how do you know how far you can go? Well, you go until you fall out. So do that. I want to see you fall out. Well, I can't see you, but you could see me falling out. So try that. It's a good practice. Inhale, lift the arms. Feel the length in the side body. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lots of space. Flat back. Chest forward. Exhale, the right foot back. Right knee down. Lift the arms. This time, Kali Mudra. So point the index finger and the thumb and then lift them up. And again, we're going to a bit of a side bend to the left, but keep the bind in the hands, the mudra. Keep the right knee down and stretch the right side body. Back to center, hands down, down dog. Inhale, roll forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga, and all the way down. Reach your hands back, this time clasp the fingers together. Locust pose, variation B. Downward facing dog. You can push up to plank, or you can use your knees down to get there. Inhale, this time the right leg, reach it all the way up. Find a long line in the side body. Exhale, right foot forward, the left knee down. Inhale, lift the arms, low lunge. Exhale, step forward and fold. Inhale, rise, go all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Last side, and then we'll change it up. Inhale, rise, press your feet down. Exhale, forward fold. Keep lots of space in your sides. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, the left foot back. Lower your left knee. Lift the arms, low lunge. Kali Mudra again. Thumb and index fingers are pointing. And then lift the chest. Lean a little bit back. And let the hands go over the head to the left side. So you're leaning away from your left knee. Another deeper breath here. Expand into the left side body. And then release the hands down, well done. Downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Remember the chest needs to go way forward. And lower all the way down. Clasp your hands, locust pose. Pull your shoulders back. Release into down dog. Take a moment, and on the next inhale, let the left leg float up. Find a long length on the left side of the body. Exhale, step left foot forward, right knee down. Inhale, the arms float. Low lunge. Exhale, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, let's rise, go all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. I'm going to turn sideways again. Bring the right knee up into your chest. Roll the shoulders back and stand up tall. And then use your right hand to place the right foot inside the left thigh for tree pose. If you can't get the foot up high, then rather go below your knee. That's also a good place. Wherever you are, press your foot and the thigh together. And then place the back of your right hand on the right thigh or knee. Lift the left arm up. And then add a little side bend. You've guessed it. Slide your right wrist towards the right knee. And then become fearless in your side bend. Push the left hip to the left and go for it. Go for it a little bit more, 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 a little bit more. And you're falling out at some point, hopefully. And that's how you know how far you could go. Well done, let's do the second side. Left knee up. Left foot inside the right leg, above or below the knee. You'll figure it out. When you can, release. Back to the left hand, to the left thigh or knee. Lift your right arm. And then take the right arm over to the left. Quite a balance in your side bend. Go slowly, slide the left wrist down your leg towards the knee. And then go for it. Expand, 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 until you fall out. Really well done. Shake the legs out. Go to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise. We're creating more and more space in the side body. Just feel that. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step into plank. From plank, lift the right leg high. Bring right knee to right shoulder or elbow. Step the right foot outside your right hand. Good. Now turn both toes towards the right side. You might need to bring that right foot a bit closer in. And then here, hang the hips down. Just hang down. If you really open the side body, your left hip might even touch down. Mine doesn't quite get there. And then reach the right arm back to the side. Really nice side stretch, especially if you hang in that shoulder a little bit. And imagine the rib cage expanding like an accordion at the bottom. And now a couple of times reach your right arm over and lift the hips high and lower back down to position 1. Lift everything up, sort of side plank, and lower. Again, lift up and lower. Let's do one more. Lift and lower. Nice. Hands down. Downward facing dog, or you can do a slow vinyasa in your own time. Don't rush. Downward facing dog is where we'll meet. Inhale to plank. Hover the left foot. Start to bring left knee to left elbow or shoulder. Step the left foot outside left hand. Turn both toes to the left. Bring the left foot in closer if you need to. And hammock the side body down. Just feel all that length in the outer hip, the side of the rib cage, under that armpit on the right. And when you're ready, reach the left arm back. And now 5 lifts. Stretch the left arm over the head, lift the hips high. That's 1. And lower. Make a huge circle through the sky. 2. 3, lift higher. 4, really press away from the mat. And last one, make it the best one yet. 5. Lower down, downward facing dog, or vinyasa. You can always keep moving in your practice, and you can always take a break in your practice. Both might be as important as the other, so choose wisely. Take a breath. And then step right foot forward, in between the hands, so the middle of your mat. Turn the left heel down at the back of the mat and come up into warrior 2. Stretch the arms away from each other. And then just take a moment to feel the side body here, from the hips to the shoulders on both sides. Nice and expansive. Not expensive, expansive. Bend the front knee a good amount, and then lower the right elbow to your right thigh. Reach the left arm over the head. It's one of the best poses to stretch the top side of the body. You'll need to press the outer edge of that back foot down, so you've got something to lengthen away from with the left hand. And then just for a moment, hang down. I actually like to place the right fingertips down. If you've got space, you can do that, or just stay with the right elbow on the thigh. That's also good. So just hang down like a plant that you forgot to water for a few days. And now bring the energy back up into it. Stretch the left arm over the head, and maybe check if you don't need that right arm as support. You might also reach it forward and up for 5, 4, 3, roll the left shoulder back, 2, and 1. Lower down. Inhale, plank. You can skip this and go straight to down dog or even child's pose, or otherwise chaturanga, upward facing. You could do locust again or cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Let's step the left foot forward in between the hands. Turn the right heel down. Cartwheel the hands up for warrior 2. You can take a moment to feel the side body nice and open, and check if you can breathe into this area. Imagine the sideways expansion of your rib cage as you breathe. Good. Left elbow to left thigh. Reach the right arm over the head, side angle. Bend the front knee a good amount. And then press the edge of the back foot down so that you can reach away from it with the right arm. Roll the right shoulder a little bit open. Nice. And then just hang the top arm over the head. Maybe the left hand can touch down if that is available to you. Otherwise, hand, elbow to knee is just fine. And then just hang down and feel the whole top side of the body expand. Now make it more active again. Reach the top arm forward and up. Then check the bottom arm is willing to lift today. Then let it happen. 5, 4, lean back. 3, 2, and 1. Well done, lower the hands down. Downward facing dog. Or you can keep moving through a slow vinyasa. Take a moment, take a breath before we move on. Couple more standing poses. We start with the same warrior 2. Take a moment to set it up. Feel your breath in the side body and not just in the front and in the back. Stretch the arms away, bend the front knee a good amount. From here, straighten the front leg and reverse into, you could say, a reverse triangle pose. Stretch the right arm away from your right foot. And then keep the legs the same, but reach your right hand forward and place it down. A triangle pose. Lift the left arm up. If it's available, you can place the right hand down again, or use a block to elevate the hand, or just your shin is right here, so you can also rest on that. Just find which one works best. And then in triangle, reach the left arm straight to the front and push the back foot down a little bit extra. Feel a tension moving in both directions. And then for a moment, hang down. You just let that left arm hang over the head. Feel the top side of the body being lengthened just by letting gravity do its job. And then slowly release the hands down. Either keep moving or take a break. Break could be down dog to work on your shoulder strength, or it could be child's pose to work on your resting skills. I'm not sure which one is most important. Maybe the resting skills. Downward facing dog, we're back. Reset. Gather your attention from the corners of your yoga mat. Tension tends to dissipate really quickly. So that's one of the main things we're training here. Left foot forward, right heel down, warrior 2. Bend your front knee generously. And then straighten the front knee and lean back, reverse. So we're getting to left side body in a different setup, just to hit slightly different angles. And then triangle pose, here we come. Reach forward, reach forward, reach forward, until you can't go further. Left shin, left ankle, or left floor. I was going to say, no, that doesn't make any sense. The mat somewhere inside or outside your foot. Right arm up, and let the right arm continue over the head, straight to the front of your mat. And then press that back foot down and just feel all that space in the top side of the body. Really active stretch through the fingertips. And then drop that arm, let it just droop over your head as you hang in this pose. The legs are still quite active, but let your upper body relax as best as you can. Nice, release that, hands down. Keep moving, or be still for a moment. I'm going to child's pose for 2 to 3 breaths. Got one more part of the standing sequence left. And I will take it nice and easy, lower down on the mat. I'm sure there was at least 3 breaths. So press the hands down, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, warrior 2. And then keep the legs in warrior 2, bend your front knee a little bit extra. And then reach the right arm up, left hand down for reverse warrior. Another really great side bending pose. Try to go straight over your head without leaning forward or back. Release, back to warrior 2. Left hand comes to left hip. The right hand, reach it forward and to the side of your front foot. And then step a little bit closer until you feel safe to balance on your right leg and lift the left leg up. Half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Lift the left arm up and lift the left leg up. And then here we'll do the same as in the other poses, a bit harder because we're balancing on one leg. Reach the top arm over the head and just hang down. Maybe by doing this, the back leg can lift a little bit higher, and some of you might even touch the floor or the mat. It's not very important, but it might happen. So just willow down, as it were, and then lift that left arm back up, firm up the top leg, push the right foot down, and maybe hover the right hand. 3, 2, 1, step back, and either move or rest. You know the choices, so be the architect of your own practice. Make it just the right thing for you at this moment. Downward dog, here we are. Last part of standing pose. When you're ready, left foot forward, warrior 2. Bend the front knee, stretch the arms away from each other. Enjoy all the space in the side body. And then right hand down, left arm up. Don't change the legs and lean back into reverse warrior. Can you bend the front knee a tiny bit more? Hold the pose, but not your breath. And then come out, right hand, right hip. Left hand, reach it far forward. Either slide closer, or if you feel stable, lift it straight up the right leg. And let the right arm follow. Half moon pose. Really good to strengthen the top side of the body, you'll feel that. And then let's hang down, reach the right arm over your head. Let it just soften and relax. Lift the right leg to wherever it goes. And hang. Hang and balance. So part of the body is really relaxed. The other parts need to work quite hard. at least in my experience. And then lift the right arm back up, firm up the legs, really to the best of your ability, and then maybe the left hand hovers for 3, for 2, for 1, and step back. Last vinyasa, if you've still got some energy left, or straight to child's pose, a shortcut. I'll be joining you there in just a moment. Lower the knees. Rest your forehead towards the mat. And have the arms either forward or back. Take a moment to draw your attention inwards. A nice, strong, standing sequence. Creating space in the whole side body from the hip to the side of the neck. Just notice if you can feel any difference. And take your time, slowly roll up and swing your legs out in front of you. Bend into the right knee and open the knee to the side. So Janu Sirsasana setup. Now from here, square your chest forward to face over that front leg and walk the hands a little bit forward over the leg. Now what I like to do here to get more of a side bend, I'll explain a bit more in the pose, is to reach the right hand to the outside of that left leg. Maybe it's your knee, maybe it's your shin, your ankle or your foot. Doesn't really matter, you'll get the same benefits. But what we want is to get into the right side of the lower back. There's some deep stability and core muscles that are quite hard to reach, and I find this pose one of the best ways to lengthen into one side at a time. You might feel hamstring stretch as well on the left side depending on your flexibility, but I find when I push that right hip back and I turn a little bit sideways and then pull a bit with that right hand, then you get into like a deep stretch in the right side of the lower back. That's the QL muscle. There's a whole group of muscles that stabilize the lower back there, but that's one of the main ones. The quadratus lumborum. And then slowly release, come back up. Keep the legs the same, but then this time just pull your right knee a little bit further back, so you're actually getting an angle that's slightly larger than the previous one. Now this time, drop your left elbow towards the left knee. You can place it on top or a little bit inside. Take the right arm up and open the right shoulder. Keep that space and reach the right arm over the head in the direction of the left foot. But I find when I force myself to hold that foot that I'm losing all this openness here in the right shoulder. So it's better for me to let the arm just dangle, and that way I'm getting a better stretch in the whole right side body. And just see if you can get an even stretch, not one part that stretches a lot and then the rest is not really involved, it's offline. In yoga we want to spread out the sensations and get the body to work as one harmonious whole. Nice, slowly release. Now for the third version of a similar pose, you could repeat one of the previous ones, but if it's possible, hold your right ankle and pull that leg or the foot back behind you so you come into this pose. If your hips or your knees are unhappy with this, just repeat the previous one with your leg inside the hip. Now, there's a couple of options. You can do the same lowering your elbow. What I like to do here is to lift up a little bit, so I have space here to go under the right thigh with the left arm, and then hold the right shin just behind here. It might be hard to see. And in here, I'm able to reach over the head, and now, without losing the side stretch, I can quite easily find that foot a bit more easy than the last one. And with both hands, I'm pulling in different directions. And if you activate your legs as well, then you get an amazing stretch in the side body here. A couple of breaths here. If it's too intense, just modify. You want to learn how to be, well, more or less at ease in every yoga pose, even though it might be challenging. So if you're not at ease at all, then it might be time to modify or to come out. And then slowly release. Just take a moment, feel the side body here. On both sides, we've done a series of stretches on the one side. Nice. Let's turn it around. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. And this time we're bending the left knee, letting it open to the left side. Right leg nice and active. We're starting off turning more or less forward over the front leg, and then the left arm go over the right leg to the outside. It doesn't really matter how far you get, just get a bit of a grip outside your shin, your ankle, or your foot. And then you can even use that right hand to push the floor away to turn it into this a little bit. And what we're after is a stretch in the left side of the lower back. So a bit to the left of the spine. You might also feel the right calf, you might feel right hamstrings, you might feel other parts of the lower back. That is a bonus. And now work with the breath for a couple of times, and imagine you're inflating the whole area around your waist and the lower back and the belly with your inhale, like a tire that you're inflating with the breath. And on the exhale, let the tire deflate and get rid of all the tension there. One more slow breath. Send it into your lower back. Exhale, release. Slowly come up. Same thing as we did on the first side. I'm pulling the left knee a little bit further back so that angle is a bit greater between the legs. Lower the right elbow towards the right knee or on top of it. And then reach the left arm out to the side. Keep that shoulder open, but just stretch the arm over the head until you stop. When you stop, don't wish to be somewhere else. Don't try to grab something that is not yet within your reach. It may not improve your yoga pose, to the contrary. But rather accept the place where you are, whatever it is for you, and just marinate here a little bit, as it were. A couple of breaths. Now there's so much space in the left side of the torso here that you can really direct your breath there with a bit more intention. One more deeper breath. And then slowly come up. Last one in this little series. If it's possible, take your left ankle and pull that left foot back. So I'm on the top of that back foot here behind me. If you try this and it feels horrible, then rather have the foot on the inside of the hip like we've done before. Option, elbow down, but what I like to do here is slide under. You might need to lift up a bit to have some space, so you can hold that shin here or ankle behind the left thigh, and then the left arm over the head. Maybe the foot is within your reach, maybe not. This side feels a little bit tighter for me, so just check what's the case for you. And then let go of all these comparisons and analysis and thoughts and just drop into the pose. This is not a thinking practice. Probably the more you think about yoga, the less it does for you. So just be here. Drop everything else. Let this be your whole experience. One more deeper breath, take your time. And then slowly release. Unrushed, start to bring the legs out in front of you. And then one last pose. Lengthen the side body in Dandasana, the staff pose. Activate the legs. You can stay here, this is a good one. Or you can hinge from the hips a little bit more if there's space, but keep the space in the side body and then just let the arms rest wherever they end up. Might be on your legs, your ankles, your feet, or the mat. All this is good. And take a few moments to feel the side body length that we have been working on. And hopefully you feel just a bit more space to expand into, to breathe into. And maybe a bit more connection between what happens in the front and at the back of the body. So the side body is a connection between these two. And then slowly lift back up and come down onto your back for Shavasana. This is why we're here, to learn how to just be. If we had just rested straight from the beginning, our minds would be too busy, our body might feel full of tension. But after an hour of moving together, now the body can rest. Now we can drop into stillness. We have prepared ourselves for this moment. So with little effort as possible, lie here, let go of tension wherever you find it, and let your breath just move through this shape without interfering. Don't get involved. If you have a few more minutes to spare, then feel free to stay a little bit longer. It's a very good idea. If it's time for you to move on, then move your hands, move your feet. Bend your knees and roll over onto your side. And then press up into sitting. Bring your palms together in front of the chest. And give thanks that your hands to your forehead, to your heart center, and bow to yourself on the mat. Thank you so much for practicing. Namaste everyone. See you again real soon and take care.